Oh, look, Alan. This would be that geranium. I'm trying to rub the leaf to get some. It doesn't have any smell whatsoever, but this is definitely the geranium, isn't it? It's native to Britain. And this one is setting seed pods right now. They're very long, and the long seed pods coming out of this calyx. So that is the geranium. And I never knew that. I've been seeing this plant for years. And, you know, we like to call them weeds, but when you really think about it, this is too beautiful to be. Right? You could grow that in your garden. It's just right by a post here on the side of the street. I hope I noticed this rose here. It's like a wild rose. And I can tell because it's got the giveaway thorns and these racilla. The racilla is got the leaf coming out of the apex of the racilla and the opposite leaves, which is a giveaway. And of course the crenate or serrated leaves, sorry, not crenate. Beautiful flower with all these anthers full of pollen. It's got a lovely fragrance. I'd love to grow some of that. There's actually a broken branch here, look. Somebody snapped it. It's been snapped. And I don't think it was planted there. I think it came up, it grew by seed, because all of this is all one plant. And it looks like a kind of, it's definitely a kind of camellia. What gives a camellia away is it's very, very shiny leaves and alternate growth habit. But this is definitely not planted there. Well, somebody could have planted it from any one of these stores. It's not uncommon that people just plant things in. But it was a long time ago, because it's right in there amongst it. It's quite tempting to take that broken branch actually and propagate it. You can see a bee. It's a beautiful plant. Yeah. Might take a bit on the way home. This big empty section has been open for yonkers. It's got some kind of weedy daisy thing, and hutainia. And hutainia is actually used as a herbal tea in Japan and China. We don't have any flower. We have some flower buds on it. So this thing's really astringent. And so if I'm to rub those cordate leaves, then my hands will really stink. It's a native, even though it behaves like a weed, because you often find it in empty sections like this. Welcome back to my life of plants and human. What you're looking at right here are my Echinopsis, and these are the leftover ones that I've had growing, and they are still in their little punnets here, but I'm not going to move them. I'm going to keep them in here because the mix is still good, and the plants, some of them are a little bit weak now because they've been in an area where they didn't get quite enough light, so some of them are stretched. Back, if I'll move this camera a little bit right at the back here, this one, but we'll zoom in later on that. But what I'm going to do now is just take off some offsets like that. Unfortunately, I've got to do this process again to make sure that the main plant gets all of the growth that it needs so it can grow bigger. A lot of these have, I mean, this one just has literally hundreds of offsets. Probably going to have to turn the camera off because, I mean, this one is absolutely riddled in offsets. Inundated with offsets. It's incredible. Whatever this is hybridized with. Oh my gosh. Look how many hybrid offsets this has. It's going to take forever, ever and ever to get them off. But if I don't, by the time June comes, rust season, Pyothera species, yeah, they're going to have a good time getting in amongst that. And also, I was talking about Echinopsis the other day, or a week ago, how important it is to remove offsets. Airflow makes your mother plant bigger, stronger, and also it flowers a lot more. But if you do have offsets, you can leave a few around the base of the plant, but try to take off all the ones that are growing on top of each other. I mean, if you really think about it, how can that do the plant any good with having offsets growing on top of each other? You can imagine underneath what's going on. Rot, for one. Not rot in the sense that it's overwatered, it just voluntarily will disregard that growth and it'll die off. So you end up with dead tissue underneath. So there's no need to have that. But I'm going to get back to you because I've got so many offsets to, maybe you're enjoying this. This one's quite tall, so I'll put a I have toothpicks that I push in to hold the plant up because it wants to flop over. Of course, in an ideal situation, I would have this up on a table. But you know what I'm like. Yeah. I'm not prepared properly. So I have to bend my body and torment it in many ways. But let's face it. You should use your body as much as you can. Stretch it, exercise it, rather than just having everything set down in a chair. That's what your body's made for, movement. So literally there are just so many offsets. Well, I'm trying to hold this camera and show you. You can see them all in there. Over here, this one has a nice big offset. We'll take that off. And all of these. Yeah, if I leave them on and then the June weather's coming, it's going to get humid and moist. And these cacti will get rust. Those are those zoosporas. Pyrethera has so many ways of reproducing. One of them is those zoospores, which are asexual diploid somatic spores. No sex required to produce those. That one's kind of floppy, but it'll be alright. This one's kind of squashed. What is that? Bizarre looking thing. Probably because it was attacked by rust at some point. Yeah, so those nasty spores, right? They are in and around the cacti, but as long as it has lots of airflow, and I use some of the sulfur, that would be a-okay. And they love moist areas, so leaving all these offsets is going to reassure that. You can see that this one has a little rust on the bottom, but they're very hardy. Echinopsis. They can recover from it. It's just unsightly, but the plants grow pretty fast. You can fast forward if you like, if this is not your thing. But this is part of the daily care I'm going through. Get these plants prepared for their growth spurt. And I have some toothpicks here, and not toothpicks, chopsticks, and I put them in the holes here like that, so I can put a shade cloth over the top. They're going to sit on the cacti. Here's another one with literally hundreds of offsets. I should have done this a long time ago. And if I had it, I would have had more success with growth for sure. This is my fault. That's why they're taking so long. This offset is actually big enough that I can plant it in there. So I'll go ahead and do that. Some more. I had some organic fertilizer, but today I have some all-purpose fertilizer for the meantime until I get more organic. Okay, one more at the back. I spotted. I'm going to tell you what I did in the morning. I came out and I was busy taking offsets off at up the other side, and then I was all finished. Good job. And I realized there were more of them, and I went backwards and forwards 3 times. I'm going to swing this around. Wait till I pull the offsets off this, and then I'll swing it around. As you can see, this one is smothered in offsets. And some of these can be planted in there. Now that I have some empty space, those offsets. By doing this, it'll promote it to flower. Easier process would be just to rub these tweezers over the top and knock them all off, but then I'm going to have to pick them up anyway. I have another offset I can put in there and take that one out that died. So I couldn't get to it to water. This is underneath a bench, a shelf, my cacti shelf, and one side of it, you can see here, these ones didn't get quite enough light, but never mind, they will recover their shape. So once I pull all the offsets off this side, I can swing it around. The other side now. Yep, there we go. Found a nice tray too. It sits just neatly underneath. Perfect size for it. Must be a tray that you actually hold this, so it's quite flimsy. But looking over this side, I can see some more. After we're finished here, they'll have a good watering. They can never get enough water, I mean. As soon as they start to dry, they can have another water. You got to be careful of the monsoon when it gets humid. Sometimes I have to back off the watering a lot. Sometimes I may be off with my camera. No, that's not on purpose. Toothpick right there, hold it up. Where did all my toothpicks go? This is going to get awkward, isn't it? Because I'm holding the camera, I'm trying to do it, but I'm going to have to put the camera down. It's getting too awkward. Offsets, maybe I already removed them. But I tell you what, as soon as I clean up, I'll start seeing offsets again, and I would have already cleaned everything up. Okay, over here. Get that camera to move over. Plant this one, since I have the space available. I'll give these ones a chance. And I need to get some more toothpicks, so I need to go back inside. So toothpicks help to hold them up, and also when they're little tiny things like this, as they're growing roots, they tend to push themselves out of the soil. Just holds them in there so they don't ride up out of their little punnet. Some of the ones I planted before are doing fine. You need one, don't you? Well, I'm gonna have to go back inside and get more toothpicks. Wish I didn't have to do that. It seems like I'm gonna have to, maybe not. Yeah, I have to go back in. Can't be avoided. So to get the right angle, wish I could get one above, but they are here. Look, all these little offsets, and they're all really healthy too. Some of them are more healthy than the mother plants. In the garbage they go. All the chopsticks in here. So that the plants don't come in contact with the shade cloth. Spin it around this way. Make sure that it's not too close to anything. And now we've got some slow release. This is just for now until I get organic. They do need food, being in such a small area as they are. And their growing space is so tiny, they're in a little confined square punnet. These are really handy though for people that want to start off some seedlings and they don't want to use hundreds of little pots. Then you can wait and see what flowers you'll have, and if you like them you can remove them and pot them on. But because they're in such a little tiny confined space, then they need fertilizer. Compensate for the fact that they don't have a lot of space for their roots. There, that's plenty. Plenty. As I'm looking along here, I'm seeing cacti that need a little stake. Like you. And that's about it. It's about as good as I can get. Wish the chopsticks are just a bit fatter, but we could do this. or we couldn't. So I'm going to poke it in two together, or maybe maybe this way. I'm going to have to put something in between the hole and the chopstick. Hold them up a bit better. What could I use? Well, just for now, I'm just going to stick with this. Get back to it later. Talk about taking my sweet time to do this job. Okay, water. Maybe wondering about those little offsets I put in watering already. That'll be fine. There. They were connected the parent plant. That little piece is not so much of an injury. It's going to cause an infection in the plant. But having them out here like this, I'm able to water them much better, much more efficiently. There. And I'm going to have one piece of... Oh, okay. Here it is. Here's the shade cloth. So I would just pop this over like that. What I have to do is find something to make the chopsticks sit in the hole a little bit more straight, because at the moment they're not sitting straight up and down. There we go. All finished. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.